as we get started here, Matias, I want to just offer everybody who's listening an invitation. And the invitation is to try to feel truth in your body. Because a lot of what we're going to be talking about, even the premise of our conversation, the premise being that you can remember your past lives lived in different civilizations, in different star systems, in different existences. That in and of itself stretches people's beliefs, and it stretches their mind to say, I don't know about all of this. So I just invite you to, instead of your ideas and the field of belief that you're currently existing in, just see if you can feel what feels true to you. See if it feels true. See what the resonance is in your own body. Because I really believe that we have that ability to detect something that's true, something that's real. And so that's the invitation as we go into this conversation, is just see what feels true. And if we do that, we'll have a pretty fun ride here, I think, my friend. It's been great spending this week here with you. Obviously, lots of amazing, incredible things. But one of those amazing, incredible things, which I think might help people drop into a sense of truth, which it has for many of the people who've been here, is a song, music.
Mm-hmm.
Music being like the mathematics of the cosmos, of creation itself. And you have songs that you remember from the time that you were in Khem, which is a civilization post-Atlantis, settled in Egypt. And you mentioned you've sung two of those songs to us, one of which is a lullaby.
Yeah.
And one of which is a song to the sunset. But you mentioned a third song. Yeah. And I'd love for you to explain what that song is, and then maybe just give us a sample of that song, just to invite people into, a feeling of something that might be different than what they believe is possible.
Yes, it's a poem actually built as a song that tells is someone asking to the muse of history to tell the story of all the men and women that have bravely walked throughout the planet and had created our history. So this person is telling, please tell me all this so I can tell the truth of our path to everyone, and that you very well know, Muse, it says, the future is actually our past. So it's kind of tell me the history of everyone that lived before, so I can tell the future about our future. So I can tell everyone about our future, which is our past.
Which is some deep, deep wisdom, because there's a famous quote: "Those who forget their history are doomed to repeat it."
And I guess it's a good vibration to start when it's about talking to people about history.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of
exactly.
Yeah. So I'm very shy to it.
Yeah, I know. But it's just me and you, buddy.
Okay. It's Atlantean language. Tahiram Aukladi Papunmo Alin Ali Merix Morixium Keneyu heti balnamo, keneyu hemesel namo, keneyu heti balnamo, keneyu hemesel namo. Alin aliyah dehi kori, Wamude tuini salea, kirsifa esumeninkoi, kleio famsem.
What strikes me when I hear that is that we have forgotten our history.
Mm-hmm.
We've forgotten our history. And there's a long history of things that exist outside of Earth, but we've forgotten our own history here on Earth. And there's people discovering, monuments, and Graham Hancock's writing books about them, about civilizations 12,000 years ago, and about all of these different things. And we're starting to understand, but it's just the thread of that memory. And hearing a song all of a sudden makes all of these empty structures and buildings and ruins, it brings them back to life in a way, and reminds us that there is real people with real songs and real love and children and lovers and culture and all of these things that are lost to us. But thanks to you and potentially some other, what you call memory cells, beings that are able to remember, we can start to bring back a memory of some of that history, which can hopefully help us guide our way towards a more beautiful future. Because that's what a lot of us are worried about right now is what the fuck is going to happen with our future?
Yeah.
Right? So going back then and helping us remember some of our history, like just tell us a bit about the culture, the place, the families, the life in Khem, where that song comes from.
Well, the first things that I started to remember was only the people. Usually when we talk about the past lives, and most of the times we only concentrate in talking about the buildings, about the technology and all that. But when I was a child, I only could remember all my links with others, the bonds that we had to one another. And I was suffering a lot because I was missing a lot of people that doesn't exist. And I was asking my guides why I was remembering the people, the feelings, and not the history.
But you had a sense that you had guides even that early.
Yeah, I had the guides since I was born, and they were guiding me to understand what was happening to me. So I was asking to them why I am remembering this specifically, and not maybe how the pyramids were built or stuff like that.
Right.
And they said that that even if the stones had the vibration of the memory, even if the quartz has the records of everything that happened, our goal was not to talk about that, was to talk about the people that recorded the information there. And the only way you can access that is through the memory that is in your cells and coded in energy. And the energy is what you call emotion. So if you don't remember the emotion of the people that lived in that time, you cannot remember why they would record some information in the stones. You need to record the culture, and the culture is about bounds in between each one of the people in a community. So that's why it's so important sometimes, well, even more important to remember the life of the people and how you felt them more than understanding the history of the rocks,
Right.
so you could understand it better. That's why to understand a building, you have to understand the way the people thought in that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was really grateful to be able to remember that with my family there.
So let me just pause 1 second and just invite people into that reality where think of all the people that we love in our life and how hard it's going to be to let go of those people, to say goodbye. We've all had to say goodbye to people in this life, and it's so hard. And of course, we believe like, okay, then when we die, fresh start. We don't think about those people anymore. But for you, you had people that you loved, that you remembered from many lives, and you missed them.
I spent my teenagehood doing mourning. For
of course,
a lot of people.
Of course.
Yes.
You had mothers and children and lovers and people.
Yeah, in order to reach the information that is useful for the people, so I can explain now the universe, the history, and all that, I had to mourn a lot of people that I was sharing with that reality. So I had to feel them, acknowledge that they were dead, and cry them again, and then I could understand what was happening in the environment.
Yeah.
So I can explain the history and the dimensions and so on.
Yeah.
So it's been a very emotional path before the data that I neutrally can share.